I made a game in 3 days for a very small game jam with only 8 people submitting a game. I wanted to start with a small game jam just in case I didn't finish it, as I tend to do that. Today I'm going to run you through the process of making this game and my thoughts on it, so enjoy. Hey guys, Blakey here and welcome back to another video. I made this game now called Crystalost in 3 days. See what I did with the name? Crystalost, because it's a crystal and anyway, you can now download it right now free of charge and you can rate it to boost my rankings in the game jam. The first link in the description will take you to the page. Please do rate it if you enjoy playing it, as I would love the support for my first jam. Also, you may have noticed that I sound just a little bit different. That's because I finally bought an actual USB condenser mic instead of using my headset for the past 9 years of making videos on this platform. So hopefully it sounds all good and I no longer sound like I'm talking through a potato on a helicopter. So I've been making games for about a year now, and the thought of a game jam has always scared me because the thought of failing or quitting is quite scary to me. But now that I've finished my main game Silhouette Dash, which is free, you can now download it in the description, I knew that I was going to mentally start dropping if I didn't start something new quickly, as that is simply the way my brain works. So I started looking through game jams and I saw this small one that started the day after I was looking. So I just decided to participate because why not? The theme of the jam was to make a game that looks like it would be seen on NES consoles but would only run on modern hardware. So I thought long and hard about how I can turn a pixel art style into an intuitive mechanic that is fluid and can be played easily. The first thing I decided was where I wanted the game to be based, and that was in a cave. I wanted to develop an atmospheric vibe to the game. So my first challenge was to create a good old tile map. I got inspiration for this from the underground levels in the Super Mario Bros. Games seen on the Wii and Wii U and Switch and all of that. I did make the tile map my own, and overall it started to come pretty good. When it comes to tile maps, you learn that it is vital to make it look like it's not a tile map and give the illusion that it's seamless. So that is exactly what you have to ensure, that the tiles connect seamlessly. I've done tons of tile maps now and I'm pretty used to it by that. It ended up coming out pretty well, and that became the foundation for the full product. Before I could use the tile map, I did need to implement a mechanic though. I pretty much went with the first one I thought of, and that is to have a cave that rotates around a point, changing the way the player navigates the level. Before I could develop this idea, I needed to ensure I could actually pull this off scripting wise, and it did take a little while, but I did find some GitHub stuff that I could yoink and put into my own project. No, I'm joking, I developed the script on my own, most of it. After some tweaks, I ended up with a tile map system that rotates 90 degrees every single time you press a key. So the base mechanic was there. Nice. I could then finally start a new project with a blank canvas and add the tile map. Now, one thing that has massively sped up my workflow when it comes to this is something called raw tiling. This is basically an external package I can slap into the project, and after a little bit of configuring, I can make tile map painting as easy as drawing with a crayon. This is because it will automatically check the type of tile I'm putting down. So if I paint an L shape, it will automatically put a corner tile in the appropriate place. It is as epic as it sounds and so easy. When I found this out in my previous project, it honestly changed my whole workflow. It is crazy. So due to this, I can spend way less time designing one individual level and spend more time on polishing mechanics, menus and stuff like that. After all, I literally only had 3 days to make this game. I did face an issue that plagues all of my pixel art game projects, and that is how to achieve pixel perfection. This basically means how to remove pixels distorting on various screens, because that's just the way it works. It's to do with maths or something, I don't know. I still have not entirely figured this out in my head in other projects. I will say for this project, I may have cheated my way out of this slightly by making it slightly blurry, but it does remove the pixel distortion. You pretty much can't notice any blurriness, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Sorry if that sounded confusing, you don't even know the half of it. The project was coming along nicely, so now the next step was to begin to introduce that atmospheric vibe into the game that I wanted, as I felt this would help sell the theme of pushing that retro hardware, which is hugely related to the theme of the jam. So I wanted to add some individual lighting rather than have every sprite follow the same global light. It makes it feel very bland and boring, and there's no weight and there's no layers to each sprite. So I decided to use a render pipeline to give me that flexibility with lights, and it allows me to add individual lights to different parts of the scene. This fitted my game perfectly, as not everything in each level was the same colour, which I'll explain shortly. Now I had lighting set up, I actually decided to add this as part of the prime mechanic of the game. I wanted to have it so the player navigates the level entirely in darkness. The only way to make the level light up would be to force the level to rotate by 90 degrees. That means to help the player finish the level, they must suffer a challenge at the same time. As well as that, the player can only light the level up every few seconds. There is a cooldown time on the light and the rotation of the cave. It may sound confusing now, but the end product did come out pretty cool and it's really simple to pick up. Just trust me. Now we had the base mechanic, the lighting, the project all in one place. What is missing? Oh yeah, the player. I needed to make one. So I jumped back into the pixel editing software and made a little blue crystal that has absolute twig legs apparently, and copied a run animation from somebody else, as I make run animations look like they have absolutely no knees. I also gave him a little jump and a little idle animation and slapped him straight into the project. Just a little bit of code here and a little bit there, and all of a sudden, boom, we had ourselves a playable little guy. Making him a crystal means I could use him to fit the story. Allow me to explain. A little crystal by the name of Chris has lost his way deep underground, away from all the other blue crystals. He's now lost in a darker, more mysterious cave. That's it. That's the story. Don't look at me. I only had 3 days to make this, alright? After hooking up all the code to combine the lights and the caves rotating and all that boring stuff, I just wanted to make some levels, as that is kind of important. So I got to work on making levels, polishing them, rinse and repeat. I ended up with 10 nice and simple but progressively more difficult levels, and to get to each level you must reach the purple crystal in your current level. If you touch any red crystals you die and you respawn at the start of the level. Nice and simple to understand and easy to pick up. Exactly what I wanted. Now it was about time I made some menus, such as a main menu and a pause menu. There's really not much to say about these, they are simple enough to do and easy to remember and hook up. If you want to know how to make a simple main menu, I do have a tutorial on that, so feel free to check it out. I'm not going to say I'll leave a link in the description because, let's be honest, if you've been here a while, we both know that I'm not going to do that. Finally, the game did not feel finished until there was some music and sound effects. I jumped into a music making software and just put together a soft atmospheric tune to go behind the game, as well as putting in some sounds. Music is underappreciated in games. They often decide the overall vibe of the game, and people overlook this. After some more overall polishing of the game, it was about time I started doing some builds and making sure it works all good, as we was on the final day of submissions. After coming to a point where I was happy, I finally slapped it all together in one file and published it about 9 hours before submissions closed. Overall, I am pretty happy with how the project turned out, and you can download and rate it right now for another 3 days before ratings close. Maybe 3, 2 or 1, depends on when I make this video, but I'm going to be making sure that I upload it before the ratings close so you guys can go and help me out. If you enjoy it, feel free to go and do so. I am for sure going to do more game jams in the future, as it was pretty fun honestly. Who knows, maybe I'll work with somebody or a team on one next time. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, subscribe if you are new. We are trying to reach 400 subs, which is just an absolutely crazy number. Lads, I will thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.